Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Kingdom of Kodiak. I'm Kodiak. With me today is Lady Genocide Sutherland. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing really good.
Fantastic. Well, thank you for coming on, and without any hesitation, let's get into the bare necessities. Sorry, Sin. Uh, how long have you been playing Amgard?
About 4 years. I think it'll be 4 years this month, actually. So,
Fantastic.
yeah.
And how long have you been aware of Amgard?
About 4 years.
It
Yeah.
seemed to be the trend now that everyone's like, no, I've known about it as long as I've been playing it.
No, I think if I would have known about it before, I probably would have been playing it longer.
Oh, cool.
Honestly, yeah.
Cool. And the persona, Genocide in Sutherland, where does that come from?
So, Southerland, I actually had. I started out actually as Lady Isabella Sutherland, which was honestly kind of just an intoxicated decision on my part. And then I think it was last year or the year before, there was an event held for Altair's memorial in Burning Lands, and me and Sylvie, we were drinking then too. We're walking. I was like, I really hate my name. You know what? It might actually not have been an Altair. It might have been at a Spring War. I don't know. I drink a lot at events, so. But at one of the two events, I was definitely walking with Sylvie, and I was like, I hate my name. I just hate my name. Isabella's, it's so basic. I really want something unique. Da, 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 da. And it just kind of happened. Genocide was just, and I actually looked it up, and there might be one or two other genocides, and they're not spelled the way I spell it. So
Right, yeah. Unique single N approach to genocide.
yeah,
Also a J. Yeah,
yeah,
that's pretty good. Cool. So, what award or achievement would you say you're most proud of receiving?
Award or achievement. So I do have I did get recognized for my service at a clan, not live, it wasn't last year obviously, but maybe it was the year before, the Blackshire Award. Is it Black? Was it what is that I cannot remember that group's name, but the Blackshire, is that the name of them?
The kingdom, or
it's a group. So I have it hanging on my wall. Anyway, that was they had done, I guess, a poll, and I was picked out of people to receive that award, and I thought that was really kind of cool to be finally recognized that big for doing some service and in the game.
So that would probably be your fourth rose listed here, for given to you by Surahira.
Possibly, yeah.
Okay, all right. Fantastic. So, battle games. What would be your favorite battle game to play? Typically, this question is either there's one game in your history that you were like super a fan of, or maybe there's a style of game that you're a big fan of.
So I'm not a big fan of militia games. I do enjoy class battle games. I typically will play a bow assassin. I like to play with my bow, but I also like to have the assassin abilities when I play that. And in militia, that doesn't happen. So I typically like at least a class battle game. I do enjoy, because I play with a bow, my favorite kind of games are usually a bridge battle, because you're going on a bridge with a bow. It's you stand behind your team, and it's really hard to get across a bridge when you're shooting at, when somebody's shooting at you. So
that makes sense. Yeah. Kato would like to point out in the chat, it's House Blackstone.
That's what it is. Blackstone. Blackstone. Thank you.
Kato's always coming through.
Yeah.
All right. So you're playing this bridge game. What's your favorite class to play?
Assassin is usually my go-to. I've knocked out all of the classes that you can play a bow with. Even the Druid Ranger, I've made it up to that. I haven't mastered, obviously, because I just finished maxing out the Druid in a pandemic. So, but I do have that Ranger ability now. But bow assassin is my go-to. I always go back to it.
No. Well, you do get some street cred on KOK for having Druid leveled to 6. So, good job.
I definitely need a lot of practice.
It's the best class to practice with. You can do everything and anything. So outside of a bow, what would be your weapon loadout for your favorite class?
So if I'm gonna, for class or just for fighting?
In general, yeah, that's fine.
if I'm fighting, I typically go with a sword and shield or a flail and shield. Flail and shield is a lot of fun. You know,
Hmm. Hmm.
and usually it's a medium to large shield.
Yeah, yeah. So we're not allowed to fight then because flails aren't real. I'm not allowed to do that. No, I don't.
But
Not a fan.
you shouldn't be allowed. They're
No.
just they're so rude. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely are. All right. Well, that's the bare necessities. Sorry, Sin. Let's talk about the three general questions the KOK viewers have asked every episode. We'll start with Kron's. Um, when is Sir Glenolf getting his toaster and or soda maker?
I hope soon. I
Soon.
really do. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been
Who's supposed
40.
to be getting that?
I
I mean,
see.
Amazon is just a click away. I mean, you could really just make that happen.
Yeah, see, here's the thing about it is we all are okay with it happening, but I
Mhm.
think since everyone's okay with it, everyone assumes someone else is going to handle it,
Uh-oh.
and no one
One of these
has.
days, though, what if he
Yeah.
ends up with like 20 of them? You know, that's
Well, that was also a plan. If we give Sir Glenolf 20 toasters, that
Mhm.
means he can make bread and toast it for all of us,
Yeah,
and we could just have like an all toast coronation event or something.
yeah.
Like oops all toast. I'm here for it. Um,
I'm for it too. Why
but what
not?
about what about the soda maker? That's kind of it's still on the edge. I've gotten some yeses, I've got some nos. Are you
Yeah.
okay with the soda maker?
I mean, if people like that, I've never actually used one. I've never seen one in person actually, but
Mhm.
I mean, if you like it, why not? If that's something that you want to go for, that's fine. It sounds like it's probably a lot more expensive than a toaster. So, I mean, the toaster is probably going to be an easier find and easier
Yeah,
get. Yeah.
yeah, that makes sense. And I guess if we're gonna do multiple toasters, let's get a 2-to-1 ratio. If you have two toasters, get one soda maker, and then if he ends up with 20 toasters, at least he'll have a couple soda makers as well.
Right. 10. Right. Yeah, that'd be great.
Still, I would like to know what are your thoughts on bears?
What are my thoughts on bears?
Hmm.
So, I'm okay with bears actually. You know, I was born and raised in Alaska. I actually haven't seen a whole lot of them, but yeah, I actually think that they're very interesting creatures
Mm,
and
cool.
people.
And people, I
Yeah,
like that. So this
yeah.
is a good next question coming up. Who's your favorite bear?
So, well, I'm not going to go to people here. I thought about this
Oh,
because I knew
son
about
of
this
a.
question. So, there's a bear. There's a bear. There's a bear that used to live at the Alaska Zoo. His name was Binky the polar bear. And kids that grew up in the 90s in Alaska know about this bear. So this bear actually ended up attacking a lady who jumped over his barricades and took her shoe, and he walked around for weeks and weeks and weeks with his shoe in his mouth. That was a badass bear.
Mm, mm.
Now, people wise, I mean, how many people bears are there? I guess is
I,
like,
I mean, if you're a dragon spine right now, the monarchy is majority bears. So
yeah,
yeah,
that's
and
a lot of bears.
technically, you said polar bear for your answer, which means
Right.
Morgan thinks he'll have a stake to the point.
Okay. I mean, Morgan's okay. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, again, Morgan is third when there's one other person when it comes to bears. Like
Yeah.
it's me, then Morgan,
That's
maybe.
right. I've heard this. Yes, it
Yeah.
is you. It is.
Yes.
You're right. But Binky is definitely my favorite bear
Okay, we'll give it to Binky.
in
Binky's on the board,
general.
folks. Yeah,
Okay.
Binky's on the board. Morgan would like to know though, are there bears on the moon?
Okay. I don't think so. That doesn't
Mm,
make any sense. Um, I don't think so. How would they get there?
That's not. I'm not a scientist.
I mean, me neither. I mean, I definitely wouldn't want to take one up there in a spacecraft.
I mean, that's fair.
Yeah.
How do we get them there if they're there? I mean, myth debunked. Boom.
Yeah.
Uh, although bears could have been born on the moon,
That's true.
and then
That's
we brought them back when we traveled to the moon. So, there's a hole in your logic right there, Genocide. I don't know what to tell you about that.
I just don't know. I don't think that they can just be born on the moon.
That's fair. Okay.
Yeah. And what do they eat? I don't think there's like substance for bears up there until the astronauts go up there and then there is. But how it's been a while since an astronaut's been up there.
Well, the
So
moon's made of cheese. So,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't know this.
I didn't know that
Oh,
because
okay.
yeah. nobody's actually been to the moon, so
Oh yeah,
it's
yeah,
not one of
Kubrick
those.
and
Yeah, I'm one of those. Yeah,
fair,
I was
fair.
trying to
We'll
play along.
talk about we'll talk about your favorite conspiracy later. Moving on. Still, I would like to know, what are your thoughts on Dragonspine getting a mobile pool and or jacuzzi?
A mobile. I think that's a great idea. I love pools and jacuzzis. Period. If I plan a vacation, I would love there to be water there. So if it's already, if you can just take it there with you, I mean, you can go anywhere. You know.
Well, yeah, I mean, again, Goldcrest kind of shot this down last week, but the plan was just put it on the back of Dom's truck.
Yeah.
But eh. Uh, so your four pool and or jacuzzi. What are your
Right.
thoughts about the bears being in the pool and or jacuzzi?
With the people or without the people? Are they the people?
See, I mean, there you
Yeah.
go. You
Lots of questions. I
yeah.
mean, if the bears enjoy the water, then let them be in there. You know, you can make your decision if you want to get in there with them, right?
Right. I
So
mean, lend him a shoe. Binky was right.
I
Just
think you're totally right.
yeah, just give us a shoe. And how do you think that Dragonspine should fund this mobile pool and or jacuzzi? By the way, it's a joke. We don't really want a pool and or jacuzzi.
You don't want one?
No, I don't think that that's ever been said yet,
I
but
think it should happen.
it's a
If you
joke.
go to an event and there's a jacuzzi there, I mean, that could get messy. I don't know, but
Fair. Okay. So, we're going to talk a little bit about you. Then we're going to talk about your thoughts about the game or the kingdoms overall. And then we're going to get into the most serious questions we have on KOK, which are the funny questions. Cassie would like to know, what helped you improve to become an archer?
honestly, before I started playing the game, I never picked up a bow. I had never picked up a bow, and it just kind of happened. The few people that started the park were like, "Oh, we really need an archer. Maybe you might like to do this." And I was like, "I don't know, maybe. You know, I don't even know what I'm doing, but okay." I got one of those bows from Academy, those cheapy like 25 $30 bows, and I played with it actually for a good year or two before I actually upgraded, but I just fell in love with it. So it was just, and it really was just practice. I just it was just fun. So it wasn't a hard thing to do. It's just go out there and practice. You can set up things, little things outside to hit and stuff like that, or you can just practice when you go to park. It's just, I mean, there's really I mean, and you're either good at it or you're not, I guess. I mean, I don't really know. I felt like it was a pretty simple thing.
Okay.
But
All right. All right.
yeah,
The gauntlet's been put down. It's easy.
yeah,
Just be an archer.
yeah, it's easy.
The
It's
end.
easy. Just being it's great. Yeah.
Yeah. Sir Francis, Alucard, you're being called out here. Uh, it's just easy. It's just easy.
It's
Um,
easy.
I wanted to
There,
know.
there are things that make it complicated, yes, but I mean, in general, just the act of it. I mean, you don't want to hit people in the head and stuff like that. So I mean, there's some strategy to it, but all in all, if you're just shooting at a tree or something, it's not that hard.
Right.
Yeah.
And what would you say is your favorite archery memory? Is it in Amtgard?
My favorite archery memory.
Yep.
Um, I think really showing up at an event for the very first time. It was clan, actually. The very first event that I went to was a GOTC. Are we saying GOTC, or can I still say clan? I don't know. I'm gonna still say it because that's what it keeps coming out of my mouth anyway.
Oh,
So when we first got there and we were brand new to the game, we'd been playing less than a year. We show up to this gathering of the clans, and you look down into that field, because you're up top. You look down into that field, and there's all these people playing, and it's just craziness. And it's like the biggest. I mean, coming from a park of like, 10 to 15 people per park day, you look down and there's like 100 people down there, 50 to 100 people, and you're like, oh my gosh. I think the best thing was to just, I mean, it was kind of nerve wracking, of course, but going into a battle game for the first time and being surrounded by other people that were doing archery, and seeing just, arrows flying and the camaraderie, just even opposite teams, like archers just kind of have their own little, I don't know, your own little kind of thing going on,
yeah.
it's cool.
there's a chess game being played with the archers, and sometimes the other amp guarders get to participate. It's
Right.
a yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Right.
So Kato would like to know. You know Kato, right?
Kind of. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
He lives there.
If you had to pick a fighting class in amp guard, what would it be?
A fighting class. So I'm guessing that he's not just talking classes in general, or he might be talking classes in general minus playing with the bow. So that's kind of what I got from reading that.
Yeah.
So I would say probably I'd probably still stick with assassin just because that's like my bread and butter. But also like I don't know. Maybe is druid. I guess I really want to learn druid better. That's my go. That's where I want to go, is learn that class better. I might have a level 6, but I don't know it as well as I want to yet. So
Yeah. I mean, why play any fighting class when you could play druid?
right.
That's the right
Yeah.
answer.
Okay.
It's not even supposed to be on the list, but this is the one where you draw in your own E answer and then put
Yeah.
druid, because
Druid is that. Yeah. I don't want to play warrior. I don't want to play monk. I played monk one time, and that was the very first class I ever played until I went to scout. And I literally only played it one time. It was not for me. So yeah.
Kato would also like to know, what do you think about back shields in amp guard?
Oh my God. Him and those back shields.
Yeah.
So this is honestly, I don't get the why. I guess I get why. It's just an extra piece of something back there. But the reason why he wants a back shield is because he's built this quiver that is a flat back that could potentially be armor. It looks like it could. So it just kind of, I think that's kind of where he was gearing around. Back shields, I just don't think that's necessary. You're gonna walk around like a turtle. I just don't think it's a good idea.
I mean, Survey 7 for V9 just came out, right? And there's some opportunity to discuss the complexities of classes and whatnot. I don't think they're worried about back shields.
I think Kato is the only one worried about back shield.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment. Kato is the only one that cares about back shields, which,
brings it up a lot.
A nice fancy dinner or something. Hey, so I want to put an additional strap on my back shield. Yeah, no. So
at that point.
So I went through and I looked at the questions that you asked Kato. And then I found a couple, and I want to see what your answers are to a couple of these. Okay. What is your favorite ANS project that you've completed?
My favorite, that's a great question. That's a good question because I asked it,
Yeah.
So I really actually, I really enjoy painting. I've been doing acrylic pours mainly lately. I can do other things, but that's been kind of like my favorite thing. I was trying to think of, I'd have to go run and get it, but like I have a lot of acrylic pours that I keep doing them and doing them and doing them. They're simplistic and they're fun and really easy to do. So that's kind of been my thing lately in the last year. Before that, I actually got into doing macrame belts. I learned the technique from Bex. And she really just showed me, they had come down to Thorn Mountain and showed me how to do it. And she's like, okay, now this is how you do it. And I was like, okay. And so I made a belt and I got really excited about it. And I bought more cord and all this stuff. And I was like, I'll make belts for everybody. And then it turned out that I really didn't want to make belts for anybody anymore because my hands hurt. And so macrame went from like my favorite thing to do to something that I absolutely despise, but I still will make them.
What's your favorite millimeter for cord?
I usually just use, I think is it 1? I think it's a 1.
Okay.
1? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. The brand I use, 6 millimeter, is the go-to, and I also did the same thing where I was like,
it might be 3. Is it 3? I don't know. I try not to look at cord anymore.
That's fair. Yeah, because I got into the 40s of making. I wanted to make 100, and I've been making them for qualifications and stuff. But man, it's just after a while, it's like I want to do something else. Like
Yeah.
this is ugh. Anyways, not about me. It's about you. Let's move on. Uh, what craft do you think you're the best at?
Craft that I think I'm the best at.
Yeah.
Um, what's the thing that I'm best at personally? Not that I think I'm the best of the best of the best, right?
What I mean, if you think you're the best of the best, you're probably the best at that category then.
I don't know.
Uh,
I do think I'm pretty decent at macrame. Um,
okay.
so I think I would go with that comparatively to other people at my park at the macrame, which is not saying a lot, but
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
I, I just don't enjoy it.
And then the final question for that set of categories: who's the better artisan between you and Kato?
I think it's kind of different. I mean, you can't really compare it because we're good in different things.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
can't say one or the other.
That's very diplomatic of you. Who's the better artist out of you and Kato?
I don't think we could go there because
Okay.
like he can't I have never done leather work, but he does really, I mean, he picked that up really well and does really well with that. If I tried to go in there right now and do some leather work, I would totally bomb it. But
Mm-hmm.
if I gave him craft cord and said make a belt, I mean, I think mine would be better than his. I think we equally have different tastes when it comes to painting, so I don't really want to compare a painting either. So
Okay.
just
All
can't do
right.
it. I can't do
Diplo Diplomacy will win the day. All right. Janae would like to know, what do you love most about your kingdom, and what are your plans to improve your park?
What I like best about my kingdom is the people. I mean,
Mhm.
when we first went to Burning Lands as a very, very new group, we just, I mean, personally, speaking personally for myself, but also for, I know for others, we just fell in love with the people there. They were just, I mean, so welcoming, so ready to teach us how to do things. And I mean, immediately it was just, when are we going to go back? When do we get to hang out with these people again? And then we
Mhm.
made some, I mean, I believe are going to be long lasting friendships with people in the Burning Lands. So,
That's
and our local parks too. So,
cool. And
yeah.
what steps are you taking to improve your local park?
So I'm pretty geared towards service. I just enjoy that naturally. I like to do things like that. So trying to any way that I can help improve the park, I'm there and I'm about it. Fundraising if we need to do that, getting the word out there, being an officer. I've been an officer. This is actually the first time in almost since the very first it's actually, I've been an officer the entire time our park has been in existence, except for right now and the very first rain that we had. So I'm all about that.
Cool. Awesome. All right. So we're going to transition a little bit away from you as an individual, and we're going to talk about some wider ranging things here. Kato would like to know, what's your favorite part of being with the Corsairs?
So I'm going to take that as being around the Corsairs because I'm not technically a Corsair yet. So
Oh,
I'm a
okay.
maggot. But I love being with the Corsairs. I was automatically, when I first visually saw the group and how they interacted with each other. I was drawn to them. I made some really good friendships with birds that are in BL right now.
Hmm.
Um, and that helped a lot. And I love being around them. I've been to Dallas. I've hung out with some of the Dallas birds over there. They're a whole lot of fun. Cali, I haven't been to a California event or anything like that to be around the California birds. I've been around the ones that have come to like Spring War and stuff like that. And I just enjoy their just overall company. They're just really great people. They have strong personalities,
Hmm.
strong-willed. There's some amazing fighters in that company. And I'm hoping to be a part of them. I love them. They're just great. So.
Cool. Can you tell us a little bit about how that process started? Like, you said you're not in the Corsairs, but how did you get approached to be considered for being a maggot?
So, it was at a spring war, and actually had already been wearing gray and black. So I was already parading around in my gray and black, and I was doing my archery thing. Cathal actually had seen me out on the field and saw me with my bow, and just kind of I guess I just caught his eye. So he asked a little bit more about me. From other people that knew me, BL birds and stuff like that. And I was kind of blindsided, because I remember waking up in my tent to Ragnarok. I'm sure you probably know who that is.
Mm-hmm.
Banging on my tent saying, "You need to get up and go to Corsair camp." And I'm like, what are you, I'm hungover. I was like, I need 2 minutes, which ended up probably being 2 hours because it's hungover. But he eventually drove me over to the Corsair camp, and they just threw it on me. And I was just, I was kind of at a loss for words, honestly. I didn't realize it was coming. And when I was asked, I was like, maybe should I think about this? And they're like, well, it's either a yes or a no. And I'm like, yes, of course, yes. So that's kind of how that went.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Kata would like to know, controversial question coming up here. You said you're going to try to dodge it, so I'm going to make sure it's public that you were going to try to dodge it. Um, who's your favorite bird?
So I'm not going to say if I have a favorite bird. I do have some of the birds that I talk to more. I'm around more. Specifically ones that are originated are in BL.
Mhm.
Those are the first ones that I communicated with. So I do have a little bit more of a relationship with them. So I'm not going to say I have a favorite, because they're all created equally but different. So
Oh, okay. All right. All right. Okay. Fair enough. I suppose we'll let it go. I mean, I get no flack for making you make a decision, but you're not going to make one. So,
my favorite bird actually is Jeremy from The Secret of Nim. So
oh, there it
yeah,
is. Okay.
that's my favorite bird.
Okay. Fantastic. Uh, what is your long-term goal in AmpGuard?
My long-term goal. I want it in general, just want it to keep going, and still be something that I enjoy. My long-term goal, I would love to reach knighthood if I can. I'm not overly exerting myself to the point where I'm going to lose it, trying to achieve that goal, but I'm naturally doing what I feel like I need to do in order to accomplish that. Doing the service stuff,
Mhm.
you know, being a part of things. I just recently was nominated for the BLBOD, so I am on that board, and they've nominated me for AIBOD, so I'm also sitting on that. So just naturally doing stuff like that, hopefully to better the game in general with what I can offer, I
Cool.
guess.
Well, congratulations on the BOD. I'm also doing that. So again, not about me, but
Yeah.
still, that's a lot of work from behind the scenes, and a lot of people don't see the end results of that work. So congratulations, and take that on well.
Yeah, I'm
So
interested in where it goes, for
right,
sure. Yeah.
I'm gonna kind of ask Tristan's question here, but I'm also gonna go into some of the data that I have. You have a fifth crown, a fifth line, and a fifth rose, according to your orc, as of 10 minutes before we started the episode. What what line are you looking to go down?
Um, so a crown, probably a crown
Okay.
knight would probably be um what I go for.
Okay. And of the belts, what do you think is oh, I'm sorry. I'm asking Tristan's question wrong. Is knighthood too easy to achieve?
I don't think it is. I mean, it really, honestly, I think it does depend on where you're at, though. And who's in, monarchy and things like that. Because I mean, there's some people just honestly don't get recognized for stuff. Some
Mhm.
people might be getting overly recognized for stuff that may not be deserving. I don't know. But I think that it's kind of general, just where you are. I think that BL is just about right. I mean, we've had I think that there is some people that are swimming around and probably should be knighted. But um I think that that's probably going to happen in the near future, and I'm not worried about it. And
Oh,
you know,
uh,
there's some good people in Kingdom that are deserving of a knighting.
I'm
Not
gonna
talking
come.
about me or Cato or anybody like the little park people, but these people in proper BL proper. There's some great people over there that I think deserve. So
I'm gonna come back to that. I'm gonna ask you the question that you're not answering.
okay.
What of the four belts do you think is the easiest and hardest to obtain?
I think the hardest is Sword Knight.
Okay.
I think that I mean, there's I think that's a huge accomplishment. I mean, you're either good at that or you're not, you know.
Hmm.
Um, the easiest, I don't know. I don't really know how you can say something as easy because they all take a lot of work.
Hmm.
Some of them are just, I mean, I don't know. A
Okay.
serpent, I think that would be completely out of my reach. So that would also be really hard. So I don't know. I really don't know what the easiest one would be.
I keep I keep hearing people who are decent artisans saying, I don't know if I could do serpent.
As it seems so hard. I know that I'm not talented enough after seeing a lot of these people and their talents to say that I qualify for that. But I definitely think there's people out there that it should be an easy reach for them because they are so talented.
Okay, fair enough. Um, what would you change about knighthood if you could?
Hmm. What would I change? I guess I don't really know much about it.
Okay.
Say that there's something that should be changed. I think that it really, like I said, depends on where you're at and how you're getting recognized in
Okay.
order to achieve that level. Um, so I don't know how. I'd have to think about that.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
let's present one of the changes that's being talked about at an interkingdom level. What are your thoughts on paladin, anti-paladin being open to the general populace?
I don't think it should be. I've actually thought about that one. I don't think it should be. I think that it should be. I think that they've earned that. I think they've earned the right to play those classes and just leave it alone.
Yep.
Why just leave it alone?
Yep.
That's theirs.
I, I mean, I I'm more willing to let it happen if that's what the majority of people want, but I agree. It's like, what benefits are we giving knights? Oh, well, they get one day where they get a whole bunch of fun stuff. Cool. But now
Mhm.
they're in a lifetime office
Yeah.
and they have to maintain a standard for the rest of their lives that is higher than any other person, except it shouldn't be. The standard should be that high for everyone, which still makes it the knights aren't getting it. Whatever.
Yeah.
Yes,
No,
I agree
yeah.
wholeheartedly.
Don't touch it. It's theirs. Don't touch it. It's yeah.
And the question you dodged, give me three names that people that you believe should be knighted that aren't currently.
I think Cassio should be knighted. I think Jubei should be knighted, and I think Liz, Smiley's wife, should be knighted.
Okay.
Those are my three
All right.
off the top of my head.
All
And
right.
yeah.
There we go. Kato would like to know if you took an underling. An example, you were a knight, you took on a squire, you're a bird, you took on a maggot, you're a lady if you wanted to take on man at arms, page. Um,
Mhm.
what would your application look like and what would your expectations be?
So, and we've talked about this a lot because he likes to take on, he's a cross, so he calls them peons, but he loves to take on peons. For some reason, Thorn Mountain is just crawling with them, crawling. And so like I don't like to jump to that, like if I had I have I'm a squire, if I had a bird, whatever, like I don't think I just jump in and put something on somebody. I
Mhm.
just I don't know, they'd have to be somebody that was very committed to the game. Not necessarily, they don't have to be super talented in one thing or the other, but they need to be, they need to show like enthusiasm. I also have to get along with them. I think that it need to be somebody that like I would be happy to invite into my home, like to have dinner with or to go out drinking with or whatever, somebody that I click with. That's got to be something
So
fun.
do you hold the same standard going the other direction? Where they'd have to meet all those standards if they were going to try to bring you into their group, because you're talking about being a mega for the Corsairs. This KOK could be your application for Squirehood if you wanted it to be, I guess. No one watches it, but that's whatever. You would want that same relationship with your higher up as well as your underling?
I think so. Yeah, I
Cool.
think that I think that I think that's important. I think you need to be able to click. I think you need to be able to communicate. I think that common interests are a big deal. So you can, if you're supposed to be supporting that person that's under you, you need to be able to, help them with their interests as well. So if you guys don't have, common, I guess you could redirect them to somebody that does, but common interests are a good thing.
Right. Okay. Um, if you could change one thing in Amtgard, one rule, one style, one philosophy, what would it be and why?
Back shields. I don't want to ever hear about back shields again.
Oh, you would ban the conversations on back shields.
Yeah, that would be it.
All right, that was a different direction than I thought that was going to go. You
I'm
said
just
back
kidding.
shields,
Can
and
you
I'm
ask
like,
me again?
okay, all right, okay.
Yeah,
Uh,
ask me the question again. Try it again.
Kato bursts in the room
Yeah, I
now just to
know. No,
yell.
he had to go to work, so
Oh, good.
yeah.
Okay, good. Uh, you said that you've been to GOTC. What would you say is your favorite Amtgard event and why?
My favorite Amtgard event, like a specific one.
Yep.
So I think that I really enjoy going to. We've really only done mostly clans and spring wars, but I think the very first time was the best one. That one where you just didn't know what you were really getting into until you were right in it. Coming from a smaller park is just the first time at a big event was just magical, I guess is the word to use. Is what it was magical. It'll make you fall in love with the game, I think. So
Yeah, for sure. I remember we had established the term Kodiak energy because of my first time at a GOTC. I slept like 3 hours a night or 4 hours a night,
yeah.
would drink and then get up at 6 a.m. and want everyone to go to the Merchants Row, which had nothing opened. And I would get yelled at by everyone that I partied with the night before because they're like, "We want sleep, go away." Yeah. So
You and Kato probably do get along really well, huh?
yeah,
Because you're like the same. He's the same.
right. All right. We've gotten to the point now where we are about to ask the most serious questions. These are the most in-depth. These go to scientists to research and put into surveys for future generations. So we need honest and whole answers. We can't dodge these ones. These are the funny questions. Is soup a cereal?
Is soup a cereal? I wouldn't call it a cereal, but technically I guess it is. I think it is. It's chunky stuff and liquid. Sure. Yes, it is.
I reversed the order on that to see if I could catch someone, and
Yeah.
we got one. So does that make oatmeal a stew?
Sure.
Yep, there we go.
Yeah.
There's two.
Yeah.
There's two. When does a taco become a sandwich?
When does a taco become a sandwich? When you cut the part that's together down the side, and
Okay.
they're all the sides are open, right?
All sides must be open. Okay.
Yeah.
So asking the question, is a taco a sandwich, does still have an asterisk next to it. Sometimes it is. Not all the time, though. Okay. What is your biggest food hot take? So this, an example, like maybe a food combination that no one else likes, or maybe a very popular food that you're not a fan of.
I hate bacon.
Son of a bitch.
I know.
What?
I don't like it. It disgusts me, the smell of it, the taste, the texture. I just can't stand it. I don't know why. I will eat it on some things, like a wedge salad, like they put the little crumblies. I can tolerate it, but the smell of it makes me nauseous. And I know people judge me for this.
I need a moment.
I know. It's so you take it. It's okay.
Like I just Dean Winchestered really hard.
Yeah.
Like son of a bitch.
So bad. I wish. But on that type of spectrum though, if I'll eat breakfast sausage. I just don't like it. So poor Crispy. I have made bacon for him before though.
Okay, that's fair. I'm having bacon tomorrow morning.
I hated
just
it
because
every
of this
minute of
conversation.
it. I hated every minute of it. It makes the entire house stink.
Like heaven.
Oh my God.
Genocide. This is not okay.
I know it's. I don't know how to. It's been since I was very young. I don't know. I don't know.
Okay. All right. We're gonna move on here. What
Sorry.
is your what is your least favorite song from your favorite band?
See, I knew this was going to come up, but I can't think of my favorite band. I was trying to think of my favorite band. Isn't that crappy that I can't think of my favorite band? So Cassio asked the question about Bruno Mars. Bruno Mars, I have this strange love for him, like not in a creepy way, right?
Okay.
I just love him. I don't know why. He's like 5'4" and just this tiny little man, but I love him. But then I was trying to think about like what songs that I don't like of his, and I can't think of it. Like I just can't think of it. So even the
What
really crappy ones make you want to dance or cry. I don't know. It's just the greatest.
do you have a least favorite song of all time that's not connected to your favorite band?
That's a good question. A least favorite song. I really hate that WAP song right now. It's constantly playing and I'm over it.
Yep.
How about that?
Yep.
I don't like the WAP WAP. It's very catchy though. It's really hard to say.
Fair.
Please don't play that again.
Okay. So Cassio did ask about Bruno Mars and what is the best Bruno Mars song?
Locked Out of Heaven. It's the best. I went and saw
Okay.
him in Vegas, right?
Yeah.
This is just gonna put icing on the cake. So I went and saw him in Vegas, and when they played this song, it was in a some kind of a stadium or something where the floors, like they have to move the floors for different things. There might be an ice skating rink or something underneath.
Hmm.
And so the floor moved. So when everybody was jumping, like the floor was also jumping to this song.
Oh, nice.
It was the best thing ever. It was just so high energy. And every time I hear it, even when I'm like only 3 people around me, I'm just that excited about hearing it. And I react the exact same way as I did in a big crowd of people.
Okay.
Kind of
Um,
weird, but
Cassio would also like to know, not song related, although if you can find a song that is sand better than snow, then you could answer that too. But why is sand better than snow? I have a strong opinion about this, so if don't cross me here, Genocide. You've already
so
crossed the bacon line. Don't.
I know. So now this is nerve wracking. So I actually hate both of them.
Okay. All right. All right. Okay. I'm willing to work with that.
Okay. So I lived 18 years of my life in Anchorage, Alaska.
Hmm.
So that's a lot of snow I was around. So I'm not a huge fan of it. I like to look at it from outside of a window and then I like it to be gone the next day. That's fine. Maybe on
Yeah.
Christmas, like stuff like that. That's fine. Whatever. But temporary. It's wet, it's cold, it makes your shoes stink. Like it's just the worst, but it's pretty. So there's that. Sand, on the other hand, is like the polar opposite of torment. Like it's dry. It gets in places that you don't want it to. Like you can wash it off into the ocean, you come back and there it is again. Like you take it home with you. It's in your washing machine, it's in your bags. Like it's just a freaking mess. I don't know. So I can't pick one or the other. I really
Well,
can't.
the right answer is sand is better because I did 31 years in Western New York, and snow can go straight to hell.
Yeah,
We're
I
done
feel
with
it.
snow.
Big time, big time. I guess if I had to pick one or the other, though, maybe sand too. I'm gonna go with the sand too. I agree.
There you
Yeah,
go.
it's gotta
Hey,
be. I
we're
hate.
agreeing on things again. Things
Yeah,
are back to normal.
yeah.
Okay.
I hate the snow though. I hate the snow and the sand.
Uh, Morgan would like to know if you can meet any person in history, who would it be, and why would it be Freddie Mercury?
Oh, why would it be Freddie Mercury? If that was the one person, does he have a weird thing with him? Like what's I mean, he seems like he'd be funny, he likes cats. Like I like cats.
Hmm.
Um, why would it that'd be why it'd be Freddie Mercury, just because
Okay.
he liked cats.
Okay.
Yeah.
But who would be the person you would choose then?
Somebody that I would want to meet.
Yep.
Hmm. RBG. I think that would be a cool person to meet. Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Okay. All
I
right.
think she would have been a very interesting lady to talk to.
Okay. Cool. Can't argue with that. Kato would like to know who has the best beard in Amtgard and why is it Kato?
I'm going to give him this right now because he has got 4 more days with that thing. So Why is it Kato?
Yeah.
I mean, it's the only one that I can just touch whenever I want and it's not creepy. How about that? Like I could, you know, I'm not some weird lady coming up to you and touching your beard because I'm allowed to do that here.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
I added a little caveat question. Will Kato be forced to sleep on the couch until his beard grows back?
No, I don't really, the beard's fine, but it's not like all that is him. So
Okay.
he is going to be forced to sleep on the couch when he's snoring though. So unless the beard stops the snoring, like the beard is the reason why he's snoring and why he has to go on the couch sometimes. Like, I mean,
I don't know if his beard does it, but as someone who has a beard, no, it doesn't stop snoring.
it doesn't work like that. Okay.
No, I
Well,
mean his might.
yeah, if it did though, if it stopped the snoring, then it'd be more bedtime. Yeah.
Yeah. Kato would also like to know, why don't you think space is real?
So I feel like this is something that I probably said when I was drunk.
But you said it.
Probably. Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, I probably said it.
Mhm,
I'm
mhm.
assuming that it is, but I'm one of those people that if you can't see it, you can't touch it. I'm gonna question it.
Okay. Now,
I guess you can see the sky.
right.
Is that space? I guess it is space.
I mean, earlier you said that we haven't been to the moon.
Right.
So are you in the belief that
I also said that that wasn't really Mars that thing is on, that it's actually that's definitely Nevada. And the person that I commented on their post about that did not respond to my, so
okay? There's a lot to unpack here. I don't think we have time for
I
it.
no, I guess you know, yeah. Why
Okay.
is I mean, I don't really know why space isn't real. I just don't know.
Next week on KOK, Neil deGrasse Tyson. I don't think I could pull it off, but we need to talk about space, folks.
Yeah, I need to learn more. You know, I just maybe I'm just not educated enough to know.
Well, we're gonna test another version of your learned ability here.
Yeah, that's scary.
Kato would like to know, do you know about Pangea?
Yeah. Um, so that's a whole nother hour long of stuff here. So
Mhm.
it was also another thing that I talked about that I was still pretty unsure about. I did actually have to ask about that. In my defense, like I feel like a part of my childhood was cut out when we started talking about dinosaurs and all that kind of stuff, because I had a teacher that didn't believe in that kind of stuff.
Ah,
So full circle, I didn't get to learn that stuff. So I didn't get what everybody else has now.
mm.
So
Well,
what do I know about
spoilers.
Pangea? There's, Little Dicky talks about it a little bit in a song. I think there's probably a documentary you should watch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the great philosopher, Little Dicky. This
Yeah.
is yeah, absolutely. This
Yeah.
is where we should be getting our scientific information. Um, yeah, yeah. So Pangea was like the original formation of all the continents
Yeah.
when they were all together, and
They're all
then
together and separate. But my argument is, were they really all together? And what was the rest of the planet was all just water?
probably.
And that, yeah, probably.
I mean, it's still
I don't
70%
know.
water at this point.
Yeah. Or was there other things that were, that are hiding? I don't know.
Okay.
I have a lot of questions. I don't know enough about it. So that is a good question. What do you know about Pangea? Absolutely nothing.
Okay, fantastic. Second to last question from Kato. Third to the last question before we're done. Can Kato have chainmail for his birthday?
So I saw that question too. And as long as I don't have to make it, I'd love to learn how to do that, but I don't know if I can finish something by May.
Okay. May birthday. It's good to know.
May birthday.
So, but he's allowed to have the chainmail done?
I guess so.
Okay. All right.
One more piece. Have you seen all this junk back? Look at all this crap back here. This is it's AmpGuard is thrown up in my home. Like, does he need chainmail? No.
All right. Doesn't need, but we need very little things in life.
Yeah.
Water, shelter, companionship. But can he have it? Yeah, you said yes. Kato,
Yeah,
sure. I think you're on board for some chainmail. deep question here. Why is a raven like a writing desk?
I don't know. I feel like that I feel like I don't know the answer to that. I think Jubei did say something about the answer to that is that Poe wrote on both of them. Is that the answer to that question?
I don't. I the only reference point I have to that sentence is the Alice in Wonderland clip where she
That's
repeats it, right?
yeah,
And then the Mad Hatter says she's stark raving mad.
right. That's the only thing that I could play in my head over as soon as I saw that, that's what I thought of too.
Hmm.
So
I don't want to see Poe writing on a raven.
me neither. That's very weird.
Last question, and then we'll do our announcements. Do you think Kodiak needs to come visit Thorn Mountain, and can he stay at our place?
Absolutely.
Oh,
Please do. Yeah, we always welcome guests that want to come and visit the park or just want to come and visit. We have a really good time here. And if we know somebody's coming, it's like a small town is celebrating a giant event. Even if one person shows up, we just get so excited.
I very rarely travel alone,
Yeah.
so
And that's good. Like lots of people.
yeah,
Yeah, we have
fantastic.
couches, we have cots, we have yard for tents, whatever. Like, bring them on.
Well,
Yeah.
if I mean, get
Hotels.
okay,
Whatever.
fair enough.
Yeah, if you need
Kato's gonna end up on the couch though, right? Because
oh no, I'll let him.
no,
Yeah,
all
because
right,
the beard's gonna stop. The gone beard's gonna stop the snoring.
okay, all right. The fix is no beard, and his
No
jaw's
beard.
not gonna open up, and then
Right.
he won't
It's
snore.
weighing it down.
Yeah, it's so heavy. Beards are heavy.
Weird.
Oh, all right. Genocide, thank you so much for coming on. Let me go ahead and make my announcements, and then I'll see you off. Dragon's Spine of Burning Land. RP channel still up and going. Please take a look at that. We've been getting some new stuff put on there. A good opportunity for you to explore your character in written text form. Go do that. Dragon Spine. Congratulations again. We're a fully floated kingdom. I think that's the only two announcements for those. All of people that are watching this and any person that could see this in the future, we hit $1,500 on the St. Jude's Children's Hospital fundraiser so far. There are 4 days left. Kato's and my beards are gone. There's another beard that is gone, but I can't remember the name right off the top of my head. But there's still time to donate. If you can, please do so. Again, this money is going to the children that are going through St. Jude's Children's Hospital. Please take some time out to do that. It's going to be hilarious to see Kato shaved. I know I'm worried about it as well, and we will try to get that stream so you can see the shaving happen. That being said, Genocide, thank you so much for coming on today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it was a blast. I always get really excited right at the end because it's like, man, I just learned a lot about this person, and now I just want to ask a whole bunch of questions that are AmpGuard related. But I'm sure we'll see each other outside of AmpGuard at some point.
So, yes.
Fantastic. All right. Well, until next time, I've been Kodiak. This is Kingdom of Kodiak. Goodbye.